Welcome to TPCloud's YouTube channel, which shares technology information, especially in the field of cloud computing. Today we will continue with the Let's Started with TPCloud series, and this is part 2. We will talk about virtual machines. We will go into the compute section of vCloud Director and start with the VM. A virtual machine is a software computer that, like a physical computer, runs an operating system and applications. The virtual machine consists of a set of specification and configuration files, and is backed by the physical resources of a host. So now, I will show you how to create a new VM. Click New VM. Give name for VM. Select type to deploy, new or from template. Select operating family and operating system. For example, I will create new CentOS 7 VM. Select boot image. Select size for VM. You can use predefined sizing options or custom sizing options. Config storage. Customize networking. I will use IP pool mode. Click OK and wait for your VM created. You can see Create VM process at Recent Task. Open console to make sure that VM have working. Now, I will create another one VM, using deployed IPform template. Select template you want to deploy. For example, I am going to deploy Ubuntu 18.04. You can custom storage policy disk if you want. Click OK and wait for process complete. VM have been created. Now open console to check everything OK. Accessing your virtual machine console allows you to view information about the virtual machine, work with the guest operating system, and perform operations that affect the guest operating system. So, now you know how to create new VM. Now, I will show you how to change the settings of the VM. Let's first look at what we can change. Click Details on VM want to change. As you can see, we can change the name, computer name, description. It is also possible to change the operating system information, but I strongly recommend that you do not change this information. Continuing with the Hardware tab, we can change the CPU such as number of vCPU, cores per socket or expose hardware-assisted CPU virtualization. You can also change memory settings. If you enable virtual CPU hot add, you can add virtual CPUs to a virtual machine while it is powered on. You can add only multiples of the number of cores per socket. This feature is only supported on certain guest operating systems. In fact, if you enable memory hot add, you can add memory resources to a virtual machine while the machine is powered on. You can change hard disk, resize them, or change policy. You can also change network interface card. VMware supports up to 10 NICs. And here is the information you can change in the Guest OS Customization tab. Finally, the Advanced tab, where you can change some advanced settings for CPU and memory. Now, I will try to change some settings of the VM. First, I will rename the VM. The name of the VM has been changed. Next, I will change the CPU. Let's check the current CPU of this VM. Only one CPU. Now, I will increase it to 2. And go back to the VM to check. Check together in OS. And the CPU has actually increased to 2. Similar to memory, I will check the current memory. For 58 MB is the current memory size. Now I will increase the memory to 1 GB. And back to check. (970 MB) is the number of memory size after being increased. Same is NICs, I will add 1 NICs to VM. Finally, I will change the HDD by adding a new HDD with a capacity of 5 GB. Currently there is only one HDD with 16 GB capacity. And I have seen another HDD with 5 GB capacity. Through this tutorial, you can see that we have the flexibility to change the parameters of the virtual machine without affecting their operation. A very useful feature we can do for the VM is the snapshot. Basically, a VMware snapshot is a copy of the virtual machine's disk file, VMDK, at a given point in time. Snapshots provide a change log for the virtual disk and are used to restore a VM to a particular point in time when a failure or system error occurs. Snapshots alone do not provide backup. Any data that was writable on a VM becomes read-only when the snapshot is taken. VMware administrators can take multiple snapshots of a VM to create multiple possible point-in-time restore points. When a VM reverts to a snapshot, current disk and memory states are deleted and the snapshot becomes the new parent snapshot for that VM. The snapshot file cannot exceed the size of the original disk file, and it requires some overhead disk space. Snapshots will grow rapidly with high disk write activity volume. Most snapshots are deleted within an hour and VMware recommends deleting snapshots within 24 hours. I will simulate the following scenario. I will create a snapshot at the present time. Then, I will create any text file. And finally, I will restore VM at the time before the other text file is created. Let's see what will happen. First, check to make sure do not have any file in TPCloud folder. As you can see, don't have anything in TPCloud folder. Now, I'll create a snapshots. Waiting for snapshots being created. And now I will create a file in TPCloud folder. As you can see, we have text file in Cloud folder. Now, I'll restore VM to the snapshot point time, when before I create a text file. Now, let's check TPCloud folder again. And do not have anything in here. VMware strongly recommend do not keep more than 3 snapshots for one VM in same time, so when you don't need snapshots file, please delete the snapshots. So, I have been show you how the snapshots working and take a small test for them. This is an important feature, so try to memorize it. Finally, I will show to you how to delete a VM when you don't want to use. To delete the VM, you first must power off the VM. Then, just click delete and all of VM file will be deleted from disk. Through these short videos, you can create, edit, manage the snapshots or delete virtual machine for your VDC. This is the second part of a series of tutorials on how to use the VPC service of TPCloud. Please subscribe to the channel and watch the next tutorials. And do not forget, if you are looking for a professional cloud service provider, contact us at www.tpcloud.vn. Thank you and have a nice day.